Evening, dirty girls, and welcome to another Training Tuesday. Tonight we're talking about gambling. How fun. And we will talk about gambling, but before I get to the Dirty Girl 3-card draw, the only game you want to play, I'm just going to preface this with I woke up this morning with a bit of a sore throat that I was pretty sure with proper cough drops and hot tea and fun things like that, I could tame it, and it's gotten steadily worse throughout the day. So if you hear me clearing my throat and coughing, I'm just going to apologize in advance for the disruption in the flow of our conversation tonight. Haven't been able to quite wrestle this thing back. So you have been forewarned. Not my smoothest conversation tonight. But a couple weeks ago you heard me losing my voice, so I think we're at a slightly better stage than that right now. It's just been a year for getting sick, hasn't it? I think I'm not the only one who I feel like I go from cold to viral something to cold to viral something, and I get maybe a week to 10 days of pretty good health in between, and I just feel like I'm back in preschool, and like all the germy things that all the kids are sharing, it's all happening. All right, so welcome to Training Tuesday. As I said, tonight is all about gambling. We're going to talk about the Dirty Girl 3-card draw. This is the only game you're ever going to want to bet on. My name is Natalie Hahn. I am CEO of Dirty Girls Consulting, and I am very happy to have you here tonight. So tonight, we're talking about sure bet gambling, not the risky kind. The kind that if you're going to put your money down on the things that you know you can win. I don't know how many of you have spent time in Vegas, but if you've spent any time in the corporate world, a whole lot of corporate conferences and things like that take place in Vegas. So even though I am not a fan of gambling, I have spent my fair share of time in casinos and around casinos. I've watched it happen. I have friends and family members who like to gamble, or good at gambling and whatnot. It's never been my thing. The one time I had good luck was at a charity poker tournament. I was at this charity poker tournament. It was five card, what is it? I don't even know the name of it. Texas 5-card draw, something like that. I literally spent an evening, like 2 days before the tournament. A friend's dad taught me like the basics of how to play. 5-card stud. He taught me the basics how to play, and I showed up at this poker tournament because it was for charity and it was just for fun, and there were probably 5 or 6 of us, I think, that were there as a group. I was the only one who made it into the top 10 finalists. I was finalist number 9. My first time ever playing Texas Hold'em. That's what we call beginner's luck, and that's what we call not knowing what you're doing. So if I was taking risks, I didn't realize how big the risks were. If I were playing conservatively, I didn't know how conservatively, and somehow that mishmash of my attitude and good fortune got me to number 9 in the tournament. Now, I didn't win anything, and it was for charity, so my energy and attitude going in was pretty much there's nothing to lose here, which is not a bad attitude, and we're going to talk about attitude a little bit later as we look at what the Dirty Girl 3-card draw actually looks like. I had a boss once who was part of, if you've read the book or seen the story, I think they made a movie out of it. It was the MIT 5 or 6, I forget. I think it was MIT 5. And it was 5 students from MIT who had the card counting system down, and here they were brilliant. And they went to Vegas and they cleaned out the tables. And I think after 2 days, 3 days, something like that, they basically all got kicked out of Vegas. One of those original 5 guys was my boss one time, a long time ago. But here was the consequence. So they went into Vegas and they raided for short-term cash, and then they were forever banned from Las Vegas. Like, he literally can't fly into the Las Vegas airport. His name is on a banned list. So, short-term payoff, not really great long-term payoff. At some point you grow up and maybe you need to go for, like, when I worked for him and I was running marketing, we had conferences that I could not send him to. He could not represent his own company because of this little thing he did when he was younger. So I'm not going to lecture on gambling and whether it's good or bad or not, because everybody does what they need to do to have a good time. That's all up to you. So what we are going to talk about is the sure bet and the why we don't bet on ourselves. So first, hello. I see, Jill, that you're here. It's great to see you. Happy holidays. Hey, Joyce. Love having you guys here. Say hello in the chat. Say where you're from. As I said a few minutes ago, I'm Natalie Hahn. I'm CEO and your head coach at Dirty Girls Consulting. And we are at Training Tuesday. We are here every Tuesday night to talk about different training topics. And tonight we're going to talk about placing the bets on yourself and how that really is the only sure bet that you have. But I wanted to start with first looking at why don't we? Why don't we bet on ourselves? Because this is something that men do. Pardon me. That men do very well. And it comes back to, and you've heard me say this before about a lot of things, but we're not trained to bet on ourselves. And hey, Jackie, I see you there. We're not trained to bet on ourselves. We are literally trained, since we are little girls, to do what we're told. So when you're trained to do what other people tell you to do, you are not trained to bet, to take the risk on your own ideas and your own thoughts. You are trained to listen to other people's wisdom and go and act on that. More often than not, when we're growing up, boys are told to go figure it out. Boys are given latitude to go figure things out, to make mistakes and to find solutions. Girls are more often given direction. And there's a reason for this. We're really good at following directions. Girls, studies have shown this. I went back and just looked, and over the last 15 years, studies have come out that have said girls are better at reading at a younger age. Girls are better at math at a younger age. Go figure, we are actually better at math at a younger age. We are better behaved at a younger age. That doesn't shock anybody. We are better behaved. We try harder to please people. There's a zillion studies out there that show that we, if you think about it in terms of being trained for life, we have the edge. Only the training we get works against us, because the training we get is about how we react and respond to other people and what they want from us, not about building this muscle on our own and trusting our own mental muscle to lead the way. So when it comes to writing our own directions, we have no practice. We have no guidebook. We have not been shown the way. Even today, in 2022 modern day, men are still perceived more as leaders than women. Men have been raised to flex that muscle, and they flex it. To us, they flex it almost without thinking about it because it's the way they were trained. Men are still 14% more likely to get promoted than women. That comes from an MIT study. Men are more competitive. That comes from Harvard Business Review. Even today, men are more competitive. But when you think about that, given our training, this makes sense, right? Why are men more competitive? Men are more competitive because men have been allowed earlier in life to take risks, to deal with the consequences, and to enjoy a high payoff. They get the thrill of the high payoff because they've been allowed to take the risks. We have been trained to look at all the risks and make a more judged decision, which means relying on someone else's opinion. We are less likely to be competitive because fewer of us believe we can actually win on our own merit, on our own brain power, because we're not used to it. We inherently believe the cards are already stacked against us. When you apply that to job hunting, you guys have heard me talk about this before. I always talk about the fact that, when you're job hunting, the ad, right? The job description, it's a dating profile. It's every company's dating profile. If we could find the best possible candidate in the world, here are the 16 things we want them to have. It's just like when you read the dating profile and you're like, that's too good to be true. He's 6'2". He works out at the gym, but not too much. He doesn't have one of those horrible bathroom selfies. He likes cats. He has a good paying job. He owns his own house. He has a good, solid relationship with his ex, but it's not too close. His kids are nice. He wants an independent woman. He wants a woman who knows her own mind, who wants what she wants, who has her own hobbies, who does her own thing, and he's totally comfortable with all of that. right? When we do our checklist of what we want, excuse me, a dating profile, job description, it's the same thing. Here's the difference in both arenas. When a man looks at the dating profile or the job description, if he can check off 3 of those 10 things, he's in. He's good. He's applying. He's pushing his case forward. For us, for women, if we don't check off 10 of those boxes, we're not even applying for the job. And we're looking at the guy and what he wants, and we're going, I'm not such a great cook. I'm not in love with cats, right? Whatever it is. And we're like, no, we knock ourselves out of the game without even giving it a shot. We don't compete. We don't put ourselves out there for a competition that we don't think we can win. All of these things add up to us not betting on ourselves. We do not bet on ourselves to be the winner in any given outcome. We put the power of the house, right? When you're in a betting situation, you're sitting at the gaming table. Who has the power? The house, the dealer. The cards are stacked, so the dealer wins. The dealer knows how to play the game. The dealer knows what's up. The dealer is watching what everybody else is doing. Pardon me. And the dealer can probably predict faster than we can who's in and who's out, who's going to win and who's not. Who's going to sit at his table for 3 hours nursing their drink, and who's going to be at his table for 3 minutes and leave without any money. Right? We put the power in the hands of the house when we don't bet on ourselves, which translates to we put the power in the hands of our boss to recognize the good work we do and offer us a raise or a promotion. We put the hands in the power of the company we work for to offer us the benefits that we want, to graciously give us certain holidays, days off, vacation time, or PTO. We put the hands in others like our partners, our parents, our friends to help make choices that shape our lives. We do this because we're not making those choices. We're relying on the input of others. And there's nothing wrong with getting someone else's opinion, someone else's feedback. But when we are not comfortable making our own decisions and making our own bets on something that we want, unless we have that external validation, then we're not leading, we're using a crutch. So what happens is we lose. If we don't believe we can win, if we are not betting on ourselves to win whatever competition we're stepping into, then we lose. There's no way you win without believing you can win. You don't walk into any situation and win it if you don't already believe in the win. We set ourselves up. So I want you to think about your energy. Oh, pardon me, your energy and your mindset. You're walking into a room. It's a meeting, a situation where you already feel like you are the underdog. You're walking into a meeting where you have to present. You're walking into a room full of your boss and your boss's bosses. You're walking into a cocktail party where you don't know anybody. You're walking into a networking event where you feel pressured to put on a good face and meet people. Right? Any situation you walk into where you're already walking and feeling like the underdog. What do? What are some of the things you do in that situation to help yourself feel more comfortable? Let's talk about the networking event or the cocktail party that you walk in, and the mission is you're going to go in, you're going to meet people, you're going to make connections. It's good for you. It's good for you. It's good for the business, right? We go to these things and we dread them for exactly this reason, because they're good for us. And if I can just do it right, it's going to pay off. So what do? We walk in and we're immediately intimidated by what? The sea of people who we don't know, who all look perfectly comfortable. They're already talking to each other. They're all dressed really well. They've all got their perfect makeup on. Their hair is done. They're wearing really cool clothes that we haven't been able to wear in 2 years because of COVID, right? We walk in this room of people who are already seem to be very comfortably placed, and we're not. So we go to the bar and grab a drink so that we have something in our hand. We go to the hors d'oeuvre table and we grab food so that we're busy. We're busy. Got a drink, got a food. I'm here, I'm doing, I'm networking. Right? We might scan the room. We might scan the room and look for that perfect dark corner where we can sit back and be a wallflower and just kind of watch everybody. Be the people watcher. with our drink and our food. How many of you guys do that? How many of you go to a networking event or a cocktail party and you're the professional wallflower? You've got your drink, and whether it's your vodka tonic or your seltzer water with lime, right? But you've got your drink, you've got your baby empanadas, and you sit in the corner and you just watch people because we're comfortable there. Sometimes we scan the room and we look for, hey, Maria, I don't know if you're raising your hand saying that's you or you're just saying hi, Maria, but Joyce, yep. So sometimes we'll scan the room and what we're looking for is kind of the biggest, noisiest group, because the big noisy group tends to be the friendlier one. And what we can do is like position ourselves on the outside fringe, right? On the outside fringe. And then we're kind of part of the group and we're friendly and we just kind of smile with our food and our drink. And at some point we might be able to relax in the group, right? Relax in and be part of that group. So that's a hope. We at least feel like we're doing something social. So we might be kind of the fringe huggers. And something else we might do. Go to the ladies' room. Oh, I'm here. Hey, here's everybody. Hi, everybody. Had a quick drink, had a quick bite to eat. I better go refresh my lipstick. Right? We hide. We walk into these uncomfortable situations and we hide. Now, when you walk into a meeting room, it's harder to hide that way, but we'll do the same thing. We'll pick the seat around the conference table that is closest to the door or furthest away from the biggest title in the room, right? The place where we're not seen, not noticed. Or we'll strategically place ourselves next to somebody who we know talks a lot. So even if we're too intimidated to volunteer or use our voice, we're at least next to somebody where we'll be kind of seen. Right? We use these little strategies that are all designed to keep us hidden. What does that energy feel like? What does that feel like to you? When you go in and you are intimidated, what are the words that come to mind in terms of what that feels like? Go ahead and drop that in the chat. What are the words that come to mind in terms of what that feels like when you're walking in the room and you're looking for the best seat to be the wallflower with your seltzer water and your crudites? Right? What does it feel like? When I used to do that, I felt nervous. I felt shame because I knew I was supposed to be doing something different. But I wasn't. I was too scared. Small, safe. Yeah, exactly. Small and safe. Both of you nailed it. Small and safe because what's happening if I step out there and I introduce myself to somebody? I might get judged. I might get judged because I'm wearing the wrong thing. Because I said the wrong thing, because I'm eating the wrong thing, right? Anxious, fearful. Yeah, it sucks walking into a party where you don't know anybody, right? It sucks walking into a room, into a meeting room, and it's all the heavyweights at your company, and you're feeling like the small person at the table who was graciously allowed to attend. Because of this 2-hour meeting, you've got a 2-minute, 2-slide presentation to deliver. So they're being kind to let you, do it in your own voice. You feel small. You feel small. And there's not a single person in the room who necessarily feels obligated to make you feel any better. Except you. So let's talk about different energy. What happens if you walk into that same networking event? That same cocktail party. But your energy now is, this is your party. Your party. You're the hostess of this party. You're the hostess. You're the host. What does your energy feel like then? What happens when you walk in the room and it's your party? What changes? What do you do at your own party? You walk in the room, you greet the guests. Hey, how you doing? You ask people their names. I'm Natalie. Who are you? Why are you here? What brought you here? How do you know the other guests? You ask them questions. Exactly, Maria. You feel in control. It's your party. Your party. You are in my house. You are eating my food. This is my party. I have every right to ask you who you are, what you're doing here, who you know. I'm going to offer you a drink. I'm going to introduce you to other people here at my party. What we do that's the most important thing when we're the host and we own the party, We share our stories. Hey, I know Stephen over there across the room. How do you know Stephen? Let me tell you a story about Stephen when I used to work with him. We share our stories, which is exactly how we connect with people. When we come in like we own it, when we believe that we own it. Because here's the thing, who in that networking party, in that room, who has any more right to be there than you? No one. The whole point of a networking event is that everybody's there for the same reason. Everybody's there with the same fears, even when they don't show it. Right? If you showed up as host to this party, how is that energy different? What does that energy feel like? Joyce, nothing changes. I'm worried nobody will come or that they're bored. So you're anxious whether you're the host of the party or whether you're the attendee of the party, is what I'm reading in that. Does that sound accurate? So if you're at your own party and people are already there, are you worried about them being bored? And if you are, what do you do about that? Gotcha. So if you are, what do you do about that? How do you make sure that the people at your party are having a really good time? What can you do? You could whip out Pictionary. That's always a good time. Trivial Pursuit. You could always do those corporate icebreaker games. Corporate parties love the icebreakers. So Joyce, that gets to a root of your confidence. Pardon me, I did warn you guys at the beginning of this that I have a cold coming on. That gets to the root of fighting for our confidence, which is exactly what we're talking about in this 3-card draw, right? When you walk into these situations and you're not betting on yourself, it's because we are not tapping into our confidence. Betting on yourself means that you believe you own the house, that you believe you have the right to be there, that it is your party, that you are the boss of you and you own the party. Jackie, really? Icebreakers every Monday? You're breaking a lot of ice there. So I would love to hear some of your best ice-breaking tips. You're welcome to drop them in the chat or share them offline in a different post, but I would just be curious, if you have to do that every week, that's a lot of ice-breaking. All right, so we're going to talk about the 3-card draw, because what we want to connect is this idea that we are the house. We own the house. We are the house. We are the ones in charge. Logically, we can talk ourselves into getting there, right? Logically, we can say to ourselves, well, of course this is my party, and of course this is my house, and of course I know my stuff, and I can give that presentation, and blah, blah, blah. But just because we can say it here doesn't mean we feel it here, right? Those two don't always connect. And when these two don't connect, our actions, the way we show up, our energy and our follow-through doesn't connect either. So even though we're thinking, I have every right to be here, if the rest of our connection is all about, oh shoot, what am I doing here? I don't belong. They're staring at me. They're judging me. That's the energy that comes forward. That's what you get. So while logically we know we belong, we don't make the connection. So the 3-card draw is about bringing together your brain, your heart, and your actions into alignment. And so it's about you leading your way. And we start quelling that gremlin voice, right? That imposter voice that says, no, I don't know why you're here. You shouldn't be here. They're asking too much of you. You can't do this. You shouldn't be doing this. So card number 1 in the 3-card draw. We're talking about the 3-card draw. Card number 1 is focused on the mind. Card number 1 is the card we pull to get our head back in the game. This is a card, the tip I'm going to give you here is a card that I want you to do. It's your homework tonight. I want you to get off this call and I want you to pull out a piece of paper. And this is what you're going to do. And you're going to hate it, but then you're going to love it. This is what you're going to do. Because this is the tool that gets your mind back in the game. That you're the boss, you own the house. Okay? On your piece of paper, you're going to do 50 numbers, 1 through 50. So probably front and back, 25 and 25. For 1 through 25 on the front of the page, you're going to list all the things that are fantastic about you at work. 25 things that make you fantastic at your job, that make you a fabulous co-worker, that makes you your boss's favorite team player, that makes you indispensable at work. 25 things that makes you good at your job. You can come up with 25 things. Trust me. You can probably come up with 50. But for the purposes of this exercise, I decided to split it. Front page, 25 things that make you great at your job. Back of the page, 25 things that make you great. That just make you you. That make you a really wicked cool person to know. That make you the really smart, ambitious person who's here tonight, trying to figure out, how do I move my career forward? How do I move it forward faster? How do I do more and do better? Because there isn't a single person in this group who doesn't have the ambition to do more and do better, or else you wouldn't be here. So, front of the page, list of 25 things that make you fabulous at your job. Back of the page, 25 things that just make you fabulous. And it can be things like, I'm fabulous at my job because I'm very creative. Because I write ad copy like nobody's business. Because I'm a really cool editor. Fabulous at my job because my team likes working with me. Because I'm a good problem solver. Because I understand the ins and outs of Facebook advertising. Right? Whatever it is that makes you good at your job. 25 things. Back of the page. Why am I just a fantastic person? I'm a great person because I love taking care of people and things. I really do. And I know we talk a lot about how our nurturing side can be our downfall, but it's also one of the things we love most about ourselves. I'm a fantastic person because I can cook. I can cook. Not only can I cook, I am not afraid to get cooking advice from other people. So I'm going to add to that, I'm open-minded. So you get where I'm going with this? Any number of things. 25 professional, 25 personal. That's your homework. Why? Because when you feel that niggling voice doubt that says, no, you can't. You don't deserve this. You shouldn't be here. You don't have a voice in this room. I want you to pull out that piece of paper and read it. And reset your mind back to what you're good at. What you know about yourself that you are good at. That's card number 1. Card number 2, let's connect to the heart. So the thing with the heart, and by heart, I'm really referring to our emotions, right? When the emotions come up, the voice in our head starts messing with our brain and it triggers an emotional reaction. Pardon me. And that emotional reaction can be, as you guys have mentioned here, fear, anxiety, doubt, apprehension, shame, right? Any number of things. We have to shift our energy. We have to shift our emotion to get back into alignment with that great list of the 50 things that make us wonderful. Sometimes making the emotional shift and the emotional connection, we need to do more than just read the list. We need to feel the list. How do we feel the list? We shift our physical energy. How do we do that? Bunch of ways open to you for how do you reconnect your emotions to that list of 50 things. So one easy way to do it, call a friend. Call a friend. I need a pep talk. We should all have a bat phone person that we can call to say, I'm having a moment. Help me. That I'm having a moment person can be your BFF. It can be your mother. It can be your coach. It can be a mentor, right? There isn't a particular role it has to be, but you should have a bat phone to somebody that you say, I need the pep talk and I need it now. You've got 15 seconds, go. And they can do that for you. That's one. That can shift your emotional energy. Listening to music. Pull out your list of 50 things, turn on your favorite rock anthem, and read. Dance. Move in a way that brings you back into the part of yourself that experiences joy and love and trust and faith in yourself. You could use a mantra and a breathing exercise. Settle yourself in. You hear that voice starting to speak up. It's starting to stir up all those negative emotions. Breathe. The emotions will pass. They always do. Emotions are not permanent. Breathe. Read the list. Breathe again. Read the list again. Bring yourself in emotional alignment with what's on that paper. Listen to music, do yoga, do movements, meditate, have a mantra, call a friend, There's a million things you can do, but it's all about bringing the heart and the emotional energy in alignment with that list of 50 things. That's your second card. Your third card is taking action, because bringing your head and your heart in alignment do nothing for you if you don't then live that life, if you don't then act upon that energy, if you don't walk into that networking event believing you own the room, if you don't walk into that presentation knowing that you know exactly what you need to deliver to this audience and you have the words to do it. So the action in card number 3 is invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Whether you're taking a class, learning a new skill, attending a workshop, whether that class or that workshop is something that's career related or not, even doesn't matter. Whether you're building up your skills on presentation or programming or learning another language, when you invest in yourself, you are showing yourself that you are worth it, and you're keeping yourself in continuous action of growth. You are practicing the growth mindset. When you invest in yourself, whether you are taking a class, hiring a coach is investing in yourself. Working with a therapist is investing in yourself. Making sure you have a mentor at work is investing in yourself. The action you take to ensure that you are the best possible version of you, that action reinforces the list of 50 things that make you fantastic and supports your energy that says, I'm worth all this. Look at everything I'm doing. Now, here's the thing about this last piece. When I talk about investing in yourself, I want to take this class, but I want to invest in that workshop, but I hear this all the time personally. I would love to hire you as a coach, but the number one excuse, now's not a good time. Number 2 excuse, I don't have the money. Number 3, I don't know what to do. And I'm telling you all right now, those are very, very poor excuses, because that's what they are. They're excuses. They're not real. Those are the stories we tell ourselves to keep ourselves small and safe and stop doing the thing. So yes, can time be a real obstacle? Yes. 95% of the time it is not. Can money be a real obstacle? Yes. 95% of the time it is not. Because when we find something that's important to us, when we find that ourselves as a priority needs to come first, and we believe that, we find the time and we do the thing. We invest in the thing. I have clients who've already signed on with me, and we've gone through exercises of, okay, so you've signed on for this class. The class is an hour a week, plus you're going to end up with homework that's probably going to take you between 60 and 90 minutes additional a week. Where in your 7 days and 168 hours can you find an hour and a half, 90 minutes, and 2 hours and a half, one for the class and an hour and a half for the homework, right, to dedicate to this course? Can you find 2.5 hours in 168? If it's a priority, you can. So you want to sign up for this course, or you want to sign up for this coaching, and it's going to cost you $4,000. I don't have $4,000 sitting on my desk right now. Would be nice, but I don't. Do you really not have the resources to get the money, though? Our go-to answer is no. Nope, no, I do not. But is that real? If it's a priority, we find a way to get the money. We find a way to buy that car that we wanted. We find a way to buy that jacket that looked really cool. And it was on sale, so it wasn't $500, it was $300, right? We find a way to get the things we want when we're motivated and when we've decided it's a priority. I literally had a call with a coaching client this morning where we talked through, what if you lost your job? Where would you get the money? And she said, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So let's start. Do you have savings? Well, we have some savings. Okay, so we have some savings we can tap into. Do we have investments? Yeah, we have a few. Okay, so we have investments. I'm not saying these are good options and these are options you want to do. What I'm saying is there are options. Could we ask relatives for money? Yes. Could we take out a loan? Yes, we could. Do you have things sitting around your house that you could probably sell because you're not really using them and you don't really want them, or they weren't the right thing and they don't fit? Yes. When we start opening up our mind to the possibilities, we come up with a bunch of stuff. Now, I'm having you do the list of 50 things on what makes you great. on what makes you amazing. And you will come up with 50 things. But if you find yourself stuck in a mindset of, I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't know what to do, take another piece of paper and write that list of 25 things and tell me 25 ways you can find money. 25 ways you can find money. One of the other things she came up with, she goes, well, actually, I could also freelance. I could also sell my skills on certain projects or on an hourly basis and make a little extra money that way. There's always options. We don't always like our options, but there's always options. So by investing in yourself, no matter what it is that you're doing, you are investing in keeping your mind open in a growth mindset, because you're constantly learning. You're constantly open to the fact that you have something new to learn, that there's something new you can expose yourself to, that there's something more out there that you can add to. And that just builds your confidence. Isn't that funny? When we can acknowledge that we don't know and that we're open to learning, it actually builds our confidence in, but I can figure it out. But I'll find a solution because I have the resources to do that. I know how to invest in things and find things and search for things so that I can do that. So your 3-card draw is your sure bet way to ensure that you own the house. And it is first your mind. Adjust your mindset so that you own the house. List of 50 things that make you great. 25 things that make you great professionally. 25 things that make you great personally. And you keep that page on your desk. Tape it to your monitor, keep it in your notebook, but you keep it with you. Card number 2, connect those 50 things to your heart. Listen to music, do yoga and meditation, practice a mantra, move, but in some way as you're reading those words and reminding yourself of those messages, get your energy back to that positive place where you feel you again, that you are connected with your why you're here, why it's important, why you matter. And card number 3 is take the action to invest in yourself. Do the thing that keeps you moving forward. Invest in you, and you're investing in your house. So that is the 3-card draw. If you are confident in who you are and what you have to offer, mindset, and if you have the tools to shift your energy, right, to shift it so that when your emotion dips and doubt occurs, because it will occur, it will always occur, you can reset it to your most confident self. That's your heart. And if you invest in the growth mindset and continually push yourself to learn and grow and take the knowledge and take the support where you can get it, you cannot lose. You can't lose. Doesn't matter what life throws at you, in those 3 things, you have the tools to conquer anything. On this coaching call this morning, we were talking about a woman that we both know, mutual acquaintance of ours, who, because we were talking about the fear of being let go from a job, right? Which is a very real fear for a lot of people, right? That I might get fired, I might be laid off. We were talking about that. We were talking about a woman we both know who got fired and was blindsided. She had no idea that this was coming. The night before, she'd been out with her boss, they'd had a company dinner, things seemed fine, and the next morning at 8 a.m., she got fired. Completely blindsided. And for weeks afterwards, she was shell-shocked. She was literally shell-shocked. That could have sent her down a rabbit hole of depression and anxiety and fear. Because when you're blindsided and you don't expect it, you go right back to what? What did I do wrong? It's me. I screwed up. Instead, she flipped it around and said, didn't see it coming, but the entire time I was in that position, I was leading my way. I was doing things my way. Apparently it wasn't a match. She went on to get a different job, different company. Same role, right? Same role, different job, or same role, different company. Within 3 years, 4 years, within 3 years, she's CEO. She was not CEO when she started. She became CEO 3 years later. Getting fired was the best thing that happened to her. Could she have seen it at the time? No. But she had the mindset of, I'm betting on me. This incident of getting fired did not prove to me that I'm not great at the job. It just proves to me this wasn't the job for me. I need to find it somewhere else. And she did. And then she grew. And she grew into an even bigger position. And now she runs the whole company. It's here. It's about your 3-card draw. It is not about the curveballs life throws at you, because it's always throwing curveballs. It is about how you respond. So if you respond with the 3-card draw, your mindset, align it with your heart, align it with your action, and invest in you, you win. All right, that is it for Training Tuesday tonight. Thank you for bearing with the coughing and the runny nose. I appreciate it. I appreciate you very much. If you would like to talk more about the 3-card draw, how you use it, how you apply it, if you don't know the direction you're going in and want help figuring it out, that's what I'm here for. So I'm going to offer you the Dirty Girl Mini Dig. It's a free coaching call, 15 minutes. It's short. We keep it focused. We keep it focused on you and moving you one step closer to your goal. So drop the word dig in the comments and we will sign you up for that free coaching call. I'll reach out to you. We'll set up a time that works for us and we'll focus on moving you one step closer to your goals, whatever they are. Remember the excuse that now is not a good time. There's never a good time. There's never a good time. There's never a time when life isn't throwing curveballs, where something is slowing down, speeding up. You're going to tell me the holidays are too busy. Then you're going to tell me the new year is too busy. Then you're going to tell me it's spring and it's too busy. If you're ready to focus on you, there's no better time than now. So drop the word dig in the chat and we will have a short talk. Otherwise, ladies, always a pleasure. Anna, I didn't see you there. It's good to see you. And yeah, these colds, they linger, don't they? They're the worst. I just got rid of it like a week ago and now it's back. So go figure. All right, ladies, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening and thank you for joining.